Corn Pop leaves them stranded in Afghanistan. Tommy Krieger's the new head football coach at Bishop Sycamore. And the IGA's meat has been beat. That's right, folks. It has been beat. Welcome to season 4.0 after the whistle. AT Dub. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, boys.
Doing good.
Krieger's finally slowed down over there.
I ain't been nowhere.
Well, you've been on the world tour, ain't you?
World tour.
World
Got to
tour.
see about 6 or 7 ballparks. Got about 10 more. That's something me and my wife been trying to do. Looks like we're getting close.
That bus driving job helped you finance that.
And summer school.
Just say he married up.
That's exactly what he did. He married up. Oh boy, ain't as dumb as everybody thinks he is. He married up and he's teaching PE. I mean, pretty smart, boys. Comes right down to it. All right, Phils. Let's thank our sponsors. We got to mention real quick here. Buchanan Therapy Services, True Point Bank, Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures, Grundy Auto Sales, the Patriot Outpost, Buchanan General Hospital, and Bellacino's in Grundy. All right, well, let's take a look at last week's games brought to you by Buchanan Therapy Services. A lot of interesting, the score, nothing really fancy or nothing really stood out other than there was a few routes, which is usually what happens week one. No games really stood out amongst any other
If
games.
any of them did, it would be the Chihali comeback.
Yeah, that
They
was,
come back and beat Marion there
Yeah.
with about 2 minutes left.
and that's always a big classic game there. And usually who wins that game usually goes on to have a pretty good season for the most part. So let's take a look at some scores here real quick. Thomas Walker 14, Northwood 6. Anything about that game? Anybody hear anything about it? I don't have any notes on it or anything.
I don't know.
14-6.
14-6 is what it is. But Northwood, I do think maybe scored later in the game there. It was 14-0 for most part of the game. What little bit I understand, but I could be wrong on that one. Holston defeated Eastmont 38-0. Holston continues their winning ways. New head coach over there. It's Coach Reed. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think so,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Gage, and I don't want to get the name wrong, but I think it's Gage Keena. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. And Jordan Ezel each had 2 touchdowns to lead Holston past the Mustangs. We got Virginia High 37, Tazewell, I think it was 14, or yeah, I think that's what it
Is
was.
that a shocker?
What about that game? Well, y'all, that kind of.
Coach Patterson's got things swinging up there.
That's right.
He's got.
He looks
scary,
like winning follows him.
Yeah, well, evidently,
So
far it has. Virginia High off to some sluggish starts, in the last few years, but all over Tazewell. And
Tazewell's not bad.
Yeah, Tazewell's not bad.
I mean, they graduated a few, but they're still. They still got some athletes right now.
So that was
Virginia
big.
High's got them too.
Big, yeah,
So
big
they do.
first win for him there. Virginia High. I know that probably makes him feel pretty good, continuing those winning ways. And sometimes all you got to do is get that snowball rolling downhill.
Believing in him.
Yep.
You gotta believe in him.
People start believing in it. Wise 49, Eastside 0. Central held a 492 to 59 edge in total offense. You were there. Tell us about it.
Man, we just got things rolling early and scoring quick. So
Quick first 7 possessions.
I think Coach Owens did a few things to maneuver the offense with losing Crabtree, and we've tried to, get Ethan Mullins more in space, and we're playing him all over the field, playing him at the wing, playing him at receiver, so, that gives us good matchup problems with defenses matching up to him. We can play him at any position because he's a threat at any time to take it to the house. So, like I said, and our quarterback played really well, Braden Church, which was a receiver for us last year. He stepped in there and handled that position pretty well. So,
And y'all still doing running a lot of wing T stuff?
we still wing T. We're a little bit spread wing T, but we're still all wing T principles. So, I think our defense is solid, which should be. They got mostly everybody back.
Deep run in the playoffs last year and a good start for this year.
Got that Tyson kid back, is all I know.
North Green 22, Castlewood 6, and the Mustard Biscuit Brigade fell in this one. Eric Tilson, his first head coaching victory. He's a UNH guy. The reason I mentioned that. He's down there coaching the Huskies at North Green.
Okay.
But Landon Taylor, another familiar name from the last couple of years. Landon had 52 yards on 17 carries, and he scored the only touchdown for Castlewood. So the Mustard Biscuit Brigade getting off to a slow start there this year.
They've lost a lot though, right?
They've lost a lot.
They graduated a whole lot.
They look like they
lost a lot of kids, had low numbers early on. I think now they've kind of.
But they do.
And their old offense coordinator is at East Side.
I mean, they might have graduated a lot, but they do have the weapon this year.
Oh, they do. That's a fact.
The Patrick Wade.
Patrick Wade
is back in football, guys.
On the sidelines
at Castlewood.
And what are they running?
The wheel.
The wheel. They're going to run that wheel when in doubt. All right, Cumberland Gap 36, Thomas Walker, is that right? 22.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that was this week.
Coach McPherson
that went
just from Grayson County, just went there, and only coach on staff right now. He is by himself and come out with a win on Friday night. So hold on a minute now, before we get thing there, think about everywhere he's been and what he's brought to the table. What was old school football and fundamentals.
Well, that's pretty impressive in and of itself. He's the only coach on the staff.
As of that Friday night, he was.
Wow. I wonder who's up in the press box.
I don't know.
The only one on the staff.
He's like an amoeba. He's like an amoeba. He can be in two places at one time.
Well, when you go,
and all that stuff.
I mean, like I said, when they got rid of him at Grayson County, they made a big, big mistake.
I think I don't know what Cumberland Gap was, but it's not really a football town, and I think they was like maybe, I don't know, 1-9 last year. I'm not positive. I don't want to speak on that, but.
Well, I'll tell you what. You mentioned old school. They did not pass the ball one time all night. So I'll tell you a little bit about it.
So they didn't have no passing yards.
He said they was usually in the spread. Before he got there, they were trying to spread.
Yeah.
So
they're just running it right at you now, evidently. Thomas Walker got 2 of his touchdowns from Zach Kidwell. That's another name that you've been hearing for the last couple of years. 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Wasn't enough for him, however. Radford, Coach Christ gets his first win at Radford, 35, George Wythe 6, and George Wythe jumped out 6-0, and then after that it was all Radford. Marcel Baylor rushed for 3 touchdowns, lead the Bobcats. Probably about what's expected. I thought maybe George Wythe would be a little bit closer in that game than what it was, but evidently Radford's either much better or George Wythe is maybe having a down season. We'll have to wait and see.
But again, you don't know how many's was quarantined. You don't. People's playing to play this day and time. There's no, if you have 5 or 6 out, we're going to call off the game until another date. Well, you got to play them when you got them.
You got the numbers, you better play. Used to, you could get out of that.
That's right. You play on a Saturday.
Yeah, but now you got to get it in. Rural Retreat 12, Fort Chiswell 7. Caden Atkinson caught a 21-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Roberts in the closing moments of the first half, and that was the difference. Rural Retreat never relinquished the lead after that. So that's your buddy.
That's it. Jimmy Hughes.
Jimmy Hughes. Or get the big dub. All right, Chilhowie 27, Marion 22. DJ Martin scores basically the game-winning score from 5 yards out, and Chilhowie was losing up to that point. It was like a couple minutes to go in the game. 27-22 victory over Marion. Big Smith County showdown every year. I know it's a disappointment there for Marion crowd because it looked like they were going to win that one. And all of a sudden, Chilhowie pulled it out. And Coach Robinson was pretty excited too, I think, because he made a comment, I think, to the newspaper that when they are able to beat Marion in that game, things seems to go well for them that season. So could be seeing Chilhowie moving back into the.
I hope that's the same for Wise Central next week. If we beat Marion.
It's going to move forward for you guys. Well, Timmy Smith, I think, a little bit upset again. Marion coach, Timmy, a really good guy, old Emory guy too as well.
He is. He played it. I played with him at Wise.
He's had it had to be a rough break for Marion to have that 22-21 lead and then lose it right there at the end. Richlands, Coach Carter gets his
Big R, boys, they're back.
38-13 over Gate City, who was missing some players, I think, maybe due to quarantine. But the big story of that game, go ahead and say what you was going to.
I didn't know what I was going to say.
A big story that come out of that game, well, there was apparently a late hit late in the game on Shane Vinsel, and my understanding is even the police had to escort the Marion principal off the field. Not the Marion, Richlands principal off the field. Both benches emptied. I don't think any fights or anything like that happened. Coach Housewright immediately came across the field, issued an apology.
That was his son, right? The principal's son that got hit late.
Yes, his principal's son got hit late. That expended, not saying that the principals did anything wrong, but they didn't want anyone on the field down there. But Coach Housewright immediately come across and apologized, and I think cooler heads prevailed. Class act demonstration by him in that particular situation. Richlands finished 375 yards of offense, 249 of it on the ground. The Cox kid had 7 of 12 through the air, 107 yards passing. I think Sage Wade had maybe a 20-some yard touchdown run as well. So.
And a catch, didn't he? And didn't he have 2 touchdowns?
I may have. I may have missed one there on the stats, but Richlands seems to be.
I don't know. I think I left my stuff.
Yeah.
What?
I said you got him right there.
Yeah. So he. Richlands. That's kind of cool for Coach Tarter to get that first win after being there so long. He got one at the end of the season last year. Or no, he actually didn't. He lost. But now he's got a official win as a head coach. So congratulations to him. Honaker 37, 11-18. That's the Coal Bowl, I believe they call it, right?
The farewell tour of Coach Doug Hubbard.
Doug Hubbard, 39 years in the helm for the Tigers, and Coach Hubbard says he's going to wrap it up at the end of the year, going to retire from teaching and coaching. And it's probably pretty good send-off for Coach Hubbard to get that last big rivalry win against Lebanon. If you remember, guys, it was like 5 or 6 months ago. Lebanon beat Honaker 27-6. And Coach Hubbard, in his comments after the game, was attributing the success of Honaker and the difference in these two games being between what happened in the offseason. He said the kids really worked hard, did a lot of 7-on-7 and stuff, and 2 good scrimmages. He attributed it all.
Who did 7-on-7?
Coach Hubbard.
He runs the football. He don't do no 7-on-7.
Well, that's what he said.
He lines up in that offset eye and that broken eye.
And Lebanon, by the way, down to 1A now. Is that correct?
Yes, they are 1A.
They're 1A now. And I still think a lot of people had Lebanon picked to win the Hoagie, so this could change things a little bit.
Who had them?
I've heard a lot of people talk about that.
Y'all had 11 picked to win the Hoagie?
No, I didn't know. I'm saying I've read that.
Hold on. No pun intended, but who's in the Hoagie?
Chiang?
No, it ain't happening.
Chiang, Brewer Retreat,
no. Holston.
No. Yeah, well, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I've heard a lot of people
say they were talking about baseball.
No, they were not talking about Coach.
Yeah, Lebanon will win it.
Lebanon will win it in baseball. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
I thought that's what you was talking about.
No. Union 56 and Lee 8. Good.
Well, Lee must have had a bunch out for COVID, is all I know. There's no way Union is any good at all this year.
15th coach in 16 years or something over at Lee. I mean,
they are improved, though.
Union is improved. They have. I mean, but
I'm talking about Lee. They said Lee was improved with.
Well, the regular names: Xavier Lomax, 49-yard touchdown run; Peyton Honeycutt, 41-yard touchdown run. But the name that come out of this game, it probably was the player of the game for Union, was Malachi Jenkins. And now that we've got Malachi Jenkins, 2 interceptions, I think it was, and he scored a touchdown and led the team on defense. So what we have over there is Malachi Jenkins and the children of the corn. The children of the corn over there at Union. And the backpack.
They still carrying them?
Oh, wait, hang on a second. The backpack, I talked to him this summer about the backpack. The backpack is out. It's now a fanny pack. It is a fanny pack, but still nobody knows what's in the fanny pack. But the backpack is out. So,
Fanny,
like I said, got any more scores or anything that you guys have?
I don't have any more.
I don't have
County
any.
teams played, did
I don't
they?
have any more. There were a lot of games that didn't get played. All right, if we
A
miss
lot of makeup games.
miss anything, we apologize, but that's the nature of the beast. All right. Up next, we have our Peak Performer of the Week. Our Peak Performer of the Week sponsored by True Point Bank, located in Grundy, Virginia. And our Peak Performer of the Week is Mr. Ethan Mullins from Wise. Coach, tell us a little bit about his performance.
Well, like I said, as a kid, we telling you we moved from quarterback just to get him the ball in a lot of different places. I think he touched the ball 4 times Friday and had 3 touchdowns. So 2 passes, he caught 2 receptions, probably had over 100 yards on those 2 receptions, somewhere through there. 2 touchdowns on those, and then he had a carry for a touchdown. So
You're looking like 5 or 6 touches, and how many touchdowns total?
he had 4 touches and 3 touchdowns. So, you know, he's one of them we can move around and play with, and
I'd be getting that boy the ball a lot.
yeah. So, well,
But then you got two. Well, then you got 2 more that can pound it 4 or 5 yards at a time too.
Well,
So they got situations where they can do both.
Yeah.
you know, I thought,
So that's
One
good.
takes pressure off the other one.
Yes.
you know, and Church had a good game, 5 of 6, 3 touchdowns passing. Tyson ran the ball well. Matthew Boggs ran the ball well. I think, you know, offensively we were clicking. Defensively was solid. So.
All right, well, congratulations to Ethan Mullins from Wise Central, True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week. All right.
Hi, I'm Melinda Krieger with True Point Bank. Cheering on local teams is a community tradition at True Point Bank. We are a local bank supporting our local schools, charities, and people. If you aren't banking locally, it's time to make the switch. Stop by one of our offices or visit us online at truepointbank.com. This football season, have pride in our local teams and bank local with True Point Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, it's time for Big Talk, brought to you by the Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures, one of our newer sponsors here. Fellas, sad day for the folks in Southwest Virginia, especially those in Abingdon, with the passing of Coach Rob Ratcliff, assistant coach for the Abingdon Falcons. Passed away due to COVID complications. What are your thoughts on that? Have you guys...
Just like they said in the paper, guys, he was a gentle giant. He was at Emory when we were there. We hung out a lot with Rob. He was part of the football team. Just a hard lick for his mom and dad, just being prayers for them, being prayers for the Abingdon Falcons and the athletics and the school, the whole school. He touched everybody, and he was just a good guy, and just 42, 43 years old, gone too soon. I mean, he helped Casey Johnson in basketball. He was his assistant, and I know Casey's real good buddies with him as well, and it's just sad. I mean, 40 years old. I mean,
just too soon.
Yes.
Much too soon. Our condolences to the Abingdon community and the family of Coach Rob Ratcliff. In addition, another sad note, we've had some flooding here in Buchanan County, and the Hurley community has been just absolutely devastated with massive flooding. The other day, the radar section dropped it was red actually on the radar map, 7 to 10 inches of rain, just a short period of time.
In one spot.
Yeah, one area.
It's just kind of, it's really a weird situation. It just hit that one specific area of Hurley, man, and it tore it up. Looked like a nuke had dropped on that place. But like, the weirdest thing about it is, you know, like, we were in school and, you know, they're talking about the school being, let's get the kids home and let's go different routes. Hurley's blocked off, but, you know, we just think rising waters. Yeah. Nobody really knew what was going on up in Guess's Fork. So until later that evening, and we didn't really know the seriousness of it. And I had a buddy and an elderly lady, which was his grandma up there. We were trying to go get on side by side. We got to the mouth of Guess's Fork, and that's when we realized how serious it was with all these rescue teams and people missing, and they wouldn't let people up in there. And you had people at the mouth of Guess's Fork trying to get to their family, crying, and not heard from them all day, no kind of communication. And when they see all these rescue teams going up in there and searching for, they were searching for bodies and stuff like it. It was just, man, it's a sad situation. And right now at this point, I think there's still one missing. So they've reunited everybody but one so far. So just
at one
sad
point,
times.
you know, we were hearing everything secondhand. At one point, you know, there were 9 kids whose parents, you know, they couldn't get in contact with them, and everybody was fearing the worst. And you were down, they were at your school, I think.
Well, when I went to my bus yesterday, we didn't have school because the 9 kids were there. And when I was there that morning to drive the bus, they were still there at that point on Tuesday morning.
Well, they all were reunited.
But they were all, that's right. They were all back with their guardians, their parents, their grandparents, whoever they're with. And like Coach Tester said, it went from like 19 people they couldn't find to 1.
Yeah.
And pray for that one that they could be found.
I know a lot of people, you know, you think, well, high water, flooding. If people see the footage of some of this stuff, you don't even put it in half perspective of how bad this really was. No. It's devastating.
Like everybody goes back to the 2002 flood in Hurley, the 78. Just on this one area, they said this was by far the worst. Even the governor or somebody come in there and he said he'd never ever seen anything like it. You know.
Well, I know a buddy of mine I played baseball with at Emory. He is in one of those swift and rescue. What is it? The people that get in enough swift waters.
We got swift water rescue.
Swift water rescue. He was in there and he said that they got a lot of people out of their houses, but he said he's never seen anything like that. And he's from the Roanoke, Franklin County area, and you know, he said it was bad.
You know, they were like, when I seen those trucks and those teams, those rescue teams from Roanoke, from North Carolina, from it was serious business, and you know, nobody was going up in there but them. Yeah. You know, and it was like, oh, okay, you know, so and you know, that just brought more fear to the people that was trying to get to their homes, that was missing their families, and it's just a waiting game. And you know, thankful a lot was reunited, but like I said, there's still one missing.
Well, a lot of people, the outreach from our community and then outside of our community has been tremendous.
And the whole Southwest Virginia,
and even
Gate City,
everywhere people,
Kingsport,
doing what they can to try to help out. And I know the Hurley community greatly.
And if anyone's out there wanting to help, go on Facebook. You can see where you can donate, send money, send water. I think the big thing they need is some clothes right now for some people, and a lot of water, and toothbrush and toothpaste.
It'd probably be 2 years for Guess's Fork's even. I don't even know if it'll be back to normal. I mean, it's.
Well, by looking at the videos and stuff, it looked like something out of a movie.
Oh yeah. I got a text message from a friend of mine who was literally stranded in the mountains on his ATV, and his message was, Guess's Fork is gone. And that was his message, exclamation point. And
pictures don't do it justice.
Yeah, it's really sad situation. So thoughts and prayers go out to the Hurley community, and of course, as a result of that, Hurley's game, this schedule for this Friday, has been canceled, and we're going to talk to Coach, the athletic director at Hurley High School, Mark Cooper. Let's go to him right now. Okay, we've got Hurley coach Mark Cooper here with us, an athletic director at Hurley High School. And Coach Cooper, we understand that you guys have had some devastating flooding over there. We've seen the footage of it. Just tell us a little bit about what happened and what's going on, what the current state of stuff is.
Well, on Monday, we received word at school that the water was beginning to, or it was beginning to flood in the Guesses Fork area. Then reports come in that we were going to evacuate the schools, take what students that we could to Riverview Elementary. We loaded the buses up and took the children over there. Parents came back and forth and got them. Come to find out, devastation in Guesses Fork is something that we've never seen, and I hope that no one ever goes through in their lifetime. The entire Guesses Fork community has lost nearly every home, vehicle that was up in there from probably an 8-mile stretch. There's only probably 5 to 10 homes standing that will ever even be able to return. We have children and families that are misplaced. We have athletes that plays football and basketball and cross country and cheerleading that they don't even have a home to go back to. That they're either standing they're either with loved ones or have been placed in temporary shelters for the time being.
I talked to Coach Tester, and he was telling me about just the visual of seeing all the people standing around there at the mouth of Guesses Fork, knowing that they had family members up in there, but they weren't able to get to where they were. And then there were, I think it was 9 kids that nobody knew the status of their parents for almost 48 hours. I know that was pretty traumatizing.
Yeah, we took roughly during the school time before we had to make the move over to Grundy, we took about 55 to 58 students over there. Well, in the time being, people were coming and picking them up, but we ended up housing 9 of them overnight that we couldn't either reach their family or their family did not know where they were. They ranged anywhere from kindergarten up to the 8th and 9th grade. I stayed with them all night with them with members of the central office staff and 3 more of our teachers that stayed there with them. Some cried, some had, some played games. They had meals. And then we didn't know the status of the parents, and we could not relay anything to the kids, but we were trying to keep them upbeat, keep them, assure them that everything was going to be all right. And we didn't know ourselves, but our top priority was just keeping them safe and assuring them that their parents will be there to get them shortly.
What do you think long-term aspects? I mean, how soon will you be back in school? What's the situation with the power grid, water and all that?
Well, we're out of school right now until next Tuesday. That is the best scenario. There was reports that came out yesterday that power to Guesses Fork may not return for up to 30 days. There was also reports yesterday that water may not even return for an entire year. So right now our status is we don't know. Our prayers and everything are with the families that has been affected. It's touched our entire community, and it's kind of put everything else on the back burner. Just praying that these families can either rebuild or they may even move elsewhere.
Anything? I know you got there's been a ton of support from throughout Southwest Virginia and even out of state. Anything you want to say in regards to that before we get out of here?
Southwest Virginia is a tight area. We all play sports and we try to win every game and we battle on and off the courts. But to see how the area, the state, from the Virginia High School League, I've received several emails from those from the Virginia High School League, from schools, all of our local districts, regional schools has contacted, offering help, support. We've received, just support from out of state, just to see how everybody's rallied around and have a common bond. Not, you know, we all are competitive and want to win, but to have a common bond of our fellow person and show the love and the support is, you know, I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure the Hurley community wants to thank them from the bottom of their heart. And, you know, we're beat down right now, but, you know, the Rebel Nation, we're strong. Hurley's strong.
That's good to hear. I appreciate you taking time with us here. We want to get this out. We're also going to put this on YouTube and make a separate video and send it out with just this clip. This clip will also be in this week's show, and we appreciate you taking time to do this with us, and our thoughts and prayers are with you, and hopefully you guys can be back and everything be back to normal before you know it.
Thank you. And thank everyone again from the bottom of our heart. Just keep us in your prayers.
Sure will. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Hear from Coach Mark Cooper regarding the situation over there at Hurley, and once again our thoughts and prayers go out to that community. All right, Coach, each week this time we recognize our Bellecinos Player of the Week, and this week's Bellecinos Player of the Week, I'm going to let you tell everybody who it is. This is a first.
Mother Nature or COVID, which one?
We'll go with
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature.
No county team played this week.
Twin Valley was open. Grundy was
Everybody's undefeated.
Well, nobody lost. That's a fact. Mother Nature gets our Bellecinos Player of the Week this week. All right. Next, we have our top 5 brought to you by the Patriot Outpost, and formerly brought to you by Hurley IGA, whose meet, as we indicated earlier in the show opening, has been beat. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. What was it now? What's it?
The
Hurley Meat Market.
The Hurley Meat Market beat IGA's meat.
They sure did.
Because you can't beat Hurley Meat Market's meat.
They sold out.
They sold out, evidently. Imagine that, selling out. All right, top 5, gentlemen. This is going to be ugly here because I don't have a clue who's doing what, and but we're going to wing in a prayer. Hopefully by next week we'll start lining this up. We're going to start with 1A, and Coach Tester, tell us what you've got.
I'm going to start with the usual on top, and 1A is the Chilhowee Warriors. Right now we don't know a whole lot, but they're always around there in the top, and they're probably in the top 3 no matter what. So number 2, I'm going with the J.I. Burton, even though they was spanked, but this past week by the Ridgeview Wolfpack. I think Jacob Cottle does a good job out there, but Cumberland versus Mountain 7,
yeah,
big difference. I'm going with the Grundy Golden Wave at number 3. I was a little impressed with Grundy. Watched them a little bit against Richlands in the scrimmage, and lined up on the first series and kind of hammered them, had their way with them.
Took it straight down the field?
Until they lined up on defense. And then
Richlands had their way.
So. But anyway, I think Grundy be a top team in single A. Number 4, I got Royal Retreat. And number 5, I got Seth Padgett and the Patrick Henry Rebels.
All right, let's take a look at my 1A top 5. I'll run through them a little bit quicker. Number 5, I got Coach Doug Hubbard and the Honeacre Tigers. Tipping my hat to Coach Hubbard there is in final season. Number 4, I've got Rural Retreat and Coach Hughes there.
You going backwards. I should have went back. I started.
Yeah, I always do mine appropriately. Yeah, I build up the drama.
Yeah, I got you.
Number 3, I have Craig, what are you doing writing on mine?
What?
Well, number 3, I got Norton. I got them too. I was going to put them in there.
Bad.
I got Norton. Number 2, I've got Grundy. And number 1, I've got Chilhowee. So a little bit of difference there. What you got, Coach?
All right, mine will be number 5. I've got the J.I. Burton Raiders. I've got 2 BDD teams in there this year. Number 5, J.I. Burton Raiders. Just got to see a little more. Number 4, I've got Doug Hubbard's Honeacre Tigers. Honeacre Tigers. Number 3, I've got the Rural Retreat. Jamie Hughes. I think they're going to be right there in the region. Yep. And number 2, I got the Chilhowee Warriors. Ooh.
Thought you said you had 2.
Number 2, Chilhowie
Oh, I
Warriors.
thought you said you had 2 BDD teams.
Well,
You don't have a BDD anymore.
number 1, the Mighty Wave,
Wow.
the Big G, the WAVE, the Grundy Golden Wave at number 1, guys. I think by looking at everything, they have a great chance of winning the region. I'm going to put them at number 1, and the Norton game when they play, I think that will be the telltale, or is that right? Tail of the tail. Tail of the tail. Tail of the whale. The tail of the wave.
There you go.
The
All
Grundy
right.
Golden Wave.
Let's
Number 1.
take a look at that 2A over here, Coach Tester.
Number 5. This is the sleeper team. Well, I ain't gonna say sleeper, but
Here, boys, he's going in reverse order.
no, yeah, I'm going with scope of number 5. I'm going with Coach Patterson and the Virginia High Bearcats at number 5. Krieger, man, what are you doing, man? You calling somebody or what?
No, I was trying to see the big
All
R.
right, number 4. Number 4, I got Tony Palmer's Graham G-Men coming at number 4.
Oh, that is big time disrespect.
They're going to climb. No.
Big time.
Number 3.
Write that down, Palmer.
Number 3, I got the Ridgeview Wolfpack coming in on the ridge at number 3. Number 2, I have the Warriors of Central High School coming in at number 2. And number 1, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So I'm going with Travis Turner and the Union Bears at number 1.
All right. That's a pretty solid top 5 right there, to be honest with you. All right, my top 5 round out. I've got the Big R, Rich Lands coming in at number 5. I got Ridgeview sitting at 4 right now. I think they've got something special in that quarterback. Look out for that kid. I think he's going to be good. Graham G-Men, number 3. Number 2, I have Wise. And at number 1, I've got the Union Bears. What you got, Coach?
All right. Number 5, I have Patterson, Virginia High, the Bear Kitties. At number 4, I've got the Big R. I have to have the Big R in there right off the bat.
Gods of football.
Big R, baby, are in. And number 3, I got the Graham G-Men. I got to put them there, Tony, because Greg's here, and I have to put Wise in there at number 2 above you.
Don't say me.
I said, I just, out of respect, this is his place, this is his establishment. So, Graham, number 3. Then I got the Wise Central Warriors at number 2. And number 1, I've got the Travis Turner's Tea Bags. Too sweet. Sweet Tea Turner, baby, at number 1.
That's a pretty good one. All right, it's good. That's a solid top 5 all the way around. Of course, as the things start developing here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we can see a lot of changes, a lot of shifting and moving around, and usually these things settle in pretty good.
I don't think a top 5 and 2A is going to, nobody's going to fall out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change a lot. All right, well, that concludes our top 5 segment. Up next, we've got our Stump the Crig segment, brought to you by Grundy Auto Sales, as always. And Coach, are you ready?
I'm always
He's
ready.
always ready. All right. Well, I have an envelope that has been hermetically sealed, placed in a bank vault at True Point Bank, as a matter of fact. One of our sponsors, been placed in their bank and has been under watchful armed security for the last 6 months, this question has. And I've been told that this question is the most simple question we've ever asked, but probably will result in one of the more complicated answers that we've ever received. So, are you ready? You have not seen this.
I have not seen it.
All right, here we go. Take a look at the question. Let's see what we've got. Okay, what happens when you buy a bigger bed?
Fit more people.
Don't sound like much question.
No, that's easy.
Sleep more people.
You've got more bedroom
Yeah.
or less bedroom.
How can you have more bedroom?
You got more bed. You got more
More bedroom,
Room.
but less bedroom.
I believe we got it.
No.
All right.
All right, you get a bigger bed, you have more bedroom, but you have less bedroom.
Less room.
Your bedroom,
less
less
room in the
bedroom,
room.
less bedroom.
You got less room
In your bed, or more room in your bed, but less bedroom.
But if you got more,
See, I stumped you off.
Well, I tell you what, that's pretty darn good there. That's analytical right there. That's smart. That's a big word too.
Big word.
All right, we tried once again and we failed to stump the Crig, or at least I think we did. Moving on to our final segment of the evening, and that is our Buchanan General Hospital Pigskin Prognostications. All right, we're going to go to our commercial here. We'll be right back.
I don't have the game.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles.
That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at...
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the monster hurricane and its deadly impact already. And tonight, up and down the East Coast, authorities...
All right, welcome back. It's time for Pigskin Prognostications. Fellas, let's take a look at this week's coming schedule, and let's get our picks and see what everybody says. So we're going to start with you, Coach Tester. And we got Coach Krieger over here, of course. And we're going to start the first game of the week is going to be Christiansburg at Abingdon.
Christiansburg at Abingdon. Abingdon is playing with a lot of motion.
Evidently that phone is too.
Playing with a lot of motion and some heavy hearts. I think they're going to come out on top, and I think Abingdon's going to play well and win this one for their coach. And I'm going to say 2 touchdowns over Christiansburg.
Okay, I agree with you. I think Abingdon's going to come out and play with a lot of emotion, and they're going to get one here for Coach Ratcliff. I'm going with Abingdon on this.
100% Abingdon. This one's for Coach Rat.
All right. We got Grayson County at Carroll County. Stephen James enters into that big rivalry for the first time as head coach over there for Grayson County.
Grayson County at Carroll County.
Ooh.
Gosh, I ain't heard about Carroll County.
I don't know nothing about none of them.
I haven't heard anything about Grayson County. I think there's probably a lot of enthusiasm over there in Carroll County, in Grayson right now, due to having,
I'm going with Carroll County. I'm going with Carroll County on this.
I'm going to go with Grayson in this one. What you got, Coach?
You would think I'm going with Carroll County.
Well, you would think with the numbers.
Yeah, I'm going to go numbers game because I don't know anything about any of them.
All right. Up next, we got Radford at Gate City.
Radford, big.
Yeah, I'm going with Radford big in this one as well. I think, I won't say big.
Too much speed.
But I think Radford's just got too much speed for them. I'm going with Radford also.
I don't know about the kids that's missing from Gate City, but the speed factor will be in effect. I'm going to go with Radford.
Okay, Central, Wise at Marietta.
Let me check here.
This is usually my chance to gain one of them.
Yeah.
Rolling with the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to take. I think Marion coming off that loss to Ohio is going to really be a bummer for them.
Yeah.
Any momentum
That's
they could
why.
have. Well, no, I'm saying any momentum they could have had, they lost it with that game there. And it's going to be really tough for them to bounce back.
So you're saying if they would have won?
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
No, I'm saying had they won, they would at least felt good going into that game. So now they're going to feel bad before the game and after. That's what I'm basically saying. So I'm going with Central.
Wise big.
Okay. Next on the list, we got Virginia High, John Battle.
Virginia High, big.
What was you just picking Virginia High now? All of a sudden, just like something like they're winners.
Well, a couple years
Coach
ago,
Patterson
they had
changes
athletes.
culture.
I think Virginia High's got them too. I don't really know a whole lot about Battle, but I think Virginia High's going to pull this one off.
I got it, Virginia High.
All right. East Side at Lee. And the woes, will they continue? But now, both teams come off shellac, this past weekend. So
At Lee,
this one's at Lee.
I'm going with the Generals. I'm going with Mountain 7 over Cumberland.
Well, that's tough. I tell you what, I'm going to go with the East Side on this one. I think it's going to take some work to get Lee High turned around.
I think I'm going with the Generals tonight.
Take Lee High, take Lee High and place them in the Cumberland.
That's right. Then they don't have this streak. You're welcome.
Well,
Not saying they win the Cumberland. I'm just saying put them in the Cumberland. Where you at?
I will admit that trip's going to be effective too on.
That ain't far.
No. All right, Tazewell at Graham.
G-Man.
All right, G-Men on your end. What you got?
Coach Palmer's going to roll on this one.
That would be Palmer will be.
Or it could be COVID.
Palmer will be drinking the
Patron.
Patron, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless the COVID hits.
Yeah, I'm going with G-Men on it. Matter of fact,
Patron
they've been
kills
shut
that
down
COVID.
over there for a while, haven't they?
That's what Coach Church says.
Patron kills COVID.
Yes.
It evidently don't. Graham's been locked down. All right, George Wythe at Fort Chiswell.
I don't know anything.
George Wythe for me.
I think G-Dub on this one. I don't know. I don't really know a lot about either one of them.
Well, I know that Fort Chiswell got beat by Jamie Hughes in the Royal Retreat.
I'm going with G-Dub.
Indians.
G-Dub. All right, Giles at Galax.
Galax lost last week, didn't it? Somebody.
Yeah, they lost. They lost to a daggone good team.
Who was it?
Might been Glenver, I believe it was.
Yeah, Glenver's usually pretty
but
good.
now, I think Galax is going to be.
I heard Glenver wasn't what they used to be either, so I'm gonna go with Galax.
Big guy ain't there no more, is he?
No, he is not.
He's at a few last game.
I'm going to go with Galax on this one also, but I do think Giles has got. Well, from what I'm hearing, they've got a younger group, and they think the next 2 or 3 years is going to be really.
I need to phone a friend. I'm going to phone Austin Cooper and see who I should
See
pick.
what he said. Who you going to pick?
Galax.
Austin too.
I couldn't get up with him.
Get up with it. All right,
Busy.
boys. Bland at Nars.
Nars big. I'm talking the biggest thing on this ticket.
I'm gonna go with Narrows.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nars as well. Bland is, folks don't know this, Bland got permission from the VHSL to not necessarily play its district schedule as normal. And they played outside their district and picked up some smaller schools to
So
try
why would they play Nars?
Well, proximity probably is something they've always been doing. But they're trying to revitalize the football program over, and they did have decent numbers at that scrimmage.
Bishop Gilbert.
Bishop Sycamore. Why don't you try to play them there in a game?
I might call them.
You discussed the offenses or anything. Riverview, West Virginia was supposed to go to Grundy. That game has been canceled. Not sure of a makeup date as of this time.
There will be none, I heard.
May not be.
No, Grundy only has 9 games as of right now.
8,
well, 8 if they don't make the Patrick Henry game up.
Wow. All right, we've got the Mustard Biscuit Brigade, the Castlewood Blue Devils with Patrick Wade on the sideline running the wheel at Doug Hubbard and Honaker.
That wheel's going to be shut down by Mr. Hubbard.
Yeah, I think Coach Hubbard runs the table in Russell County his final season as the head coach. So I'm going with Honaker in this one.
I'm going with Hubbard.
I'm going with Honaker Tigers too.
Honaker's starting the season out possibly 2-0. All right, boys. Hurley at Thomas Walker. That's another game.
That is postponed.
Postponed due to the.
They're playing that on a Tuesday.
The flooding. They have rescheduled.
They have rescheduled on a Tuesday.
All right. Another local game here. Montcalm, West Virginia, traveling to Twin Valley, and
Wonder if they'll have officials to show up at this game.
I think they will this time because I've called them twice and sent them an email. I'm pretty sure they'll be there.
Mess that up.
I kind of me, kind of them too. Now Montcalm coming off about a 70-some point win, but here's
100.
But here's the thing, though, they is playing the 100 Hornets. Okay, who ain't beat nobody, and I don't know when. Have you?
But they scored really 70.
They 70, 40-something, nothing halftime. But so you watch the film, man, they look good. But is it because they're good, or is it because the 100's that bad? I'm going to go with tradition and say 100's that bad.
They are, but to still score, they played 100 all the time, and they don't score that. So
he was bad.
I'm going with
TV on this with Twin Valley. I think Coach Ward gets a win out of the gate here.
Twin Valley.
All right, Chill High at Burton. This could be the game of the week.
This is where Coach Cottle Burton has a chance to redeem themselves.
Oh, that's true.
If they could get this one, that's my top two. So I got Chilhowie at number 1. I'm going to have to roll with the Warriors.
That's what I was getting ready to say, but.
Boys, I'm one that called the. It really ain't upset. I'm going to go Burton on this. God, they come off a bad loss, so didn't they?
Bad.
Chilhowie come off a big win. I'm going to go Chilhowie. I think emotion could play a big factor in this. This is at Burton, though.
I'm going to go with Chilhowie as well, but I won't be surprised if John I. Burton wins this game. But we can't have, somebody's got to beat them to change their mind.
Yeah. That might be the region
championship. Could be looking at it right there. All right, next on the schedule, we got Rye Cove at Northwood. It's going to be a tough one to call there, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one. I'm going to go Northwood. Rye Cove.
I'm going to go Northwood.
I'm going with the Cove.
All right, Tester's got the Cove.
I'm going with the Panthers.
You're going with your buddy Mr. Johnson over there, right?
I am.
I can sling that ball from what I understand. Holston at Twin Springs.
Who Twin Springs?
Twin Springs got the win last week.
Who'd they beat?
Somebody. I believe that's who beat Northwood.
Yeah, not Thomas Walker.
Not Thomas Walker, it was Twin Springs.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. You had Thomas Walker playing 2 games.
Yep. That's who it was. It was 14-6, I think it was.
Who beat Twin Springs beat who?
Northwood.
14-6. I'm going with Holston.
I'm going to pick Holston this one. I think Holston coming off the success they had last year. You know guys know this as well as I do. Even if you lose a lot of players, the kids that come on up after that expect to win because they've experienced it a little bit. Even though they may not be, as good of a team, I'm going with Holston.
I'm going with the Cavaliers also.
And Krieger?
Holston.
All right, Lebanon at Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry.
PH. I think if PH continues to run the ball like they have in the past, I think PH will get Lebanon in this one. All right, and our final game on the schedule here is Rural Retreat and Eastern Montgomery.
I'm going with Jamie Hughes and the Rural Retreat Engines.
Same here
across the board. Rural Retreat started out 2-0 was my prediction. Eastmont big loss last week, so I think they're going to get handed it twice here in a row. All right, well that does it for our pick'em for week 2. So anything else that you guys have before we dismiss and get out of here?
You didn't talk about Ridgeview at all.
We missed. We did earlier in the show. We did fail to mention the Ridgeview Norton game, which was Ridgeview handedly took care of it.
Is that a shocker to you?
It wasn't me, no. I take it back. It wasn't a shock that they won. It was a shock about how much they won.
And the quarterback, that freshman quarterback's going to be pretty good. Right. He's going to be real good.
I thought Ridgeview looked pretty daggone good. Or was it one of them sort of Norton so bad? Or,
no, I don't think Norton's that bad.
I know the quarterback. I know it's going to be different playing in the Mountain 7. I understand all that. But he did what he was supposed to do against Norton.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't stop.
Yeah.
He's going. I think they have the right. He's a pretty good quarterback. Going to be fun to watch.
All right, well, that wraps it up for 4.1 here. Until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
Reminding you to not allow your education to get in the way of your own ignorance.